What's going on, guys? We back and we're here to talk about the top 5 Eastern Conference guards or finishers in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. I totally butchered that. Let's start over. What's popping, guys? We're here to talk about the top 5 finishers in the Eastern Conference guard edition. We're not going to do this for forwards because forwards, most of their shots, the frequency of their shots, mostly inside within 10 feet anyway. So having that discussion is kind of pointless, right? Because most of these guys, we're talking about the top finishers, whereas like within 10 feet, who are the best finishers in the NBA, at least not in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference, at least last season. Now, people are saying, you're making a lot of Eastern Conference videos, the best players in the West, what is wrong with you? Guys, those videos are coming. So this week is going to be Eastern Conference edition of a lot of things. Next week is we're going to do Western Conference to cover it all. And then we're going to have a big video in which we combine both for a lot of those categories. So right now, just be patient with me, okay? So like I said, we have the top 5 finishers in the Eastern Conference. Now, I'm disqualifying some players because we're going to have certain metrics that they have to pass, and so we don't have a flawed system. The first, we're disqualifying LeBron and Ben Simmons. This is a guard thing, and somehow LeBron and Ben Simmons, they're classified as guards on NBA.com. That's where I typically get my numbers, or basketballreference.com, because they play on the ball so much. However, we're not using those guys just because they're LeBron and Ben Simmons, and we know they're actually forwards. Ben Simmons somewhat, but we're going to leave him out just like LeBron. Also, players would have to have played at least 41 games last year, at least half the season, and also attempt 5 shots within 10 feet per game. If you're taking 2 shots per game within 10 feet and you're shooting 80%, I'm not sure how much I can value you as a finisher. So for me, I'm looking at least 5 shots per game, or 5 attempts per game inside within 10 feet. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing to kind of filter out some of the people that had outlying seasons, the people that don't take as many shots. And again, these are guards, so these are not big men that take like a lot of shots. Another thing that I should probably disallow is the frequency of buckets you have within 10 feet. So if I do that, Ben Simmons and LeBron James, they do not qualify, because LeBron James is around 50% of his shots are within 10 feet, and Ben Simmons is a whopping like 70%. So yeah, they don't qualify. I would say 50% frequency, shooting around a bucket, at least 5 attempts. That's a good range to kind of filter out some of these players. So for right now, let's deep dive. Let's go through our top 5 players, or top 5 finishers in the Eastern Conference that are guards. So for number 5, we have Dennis Schroeder. So Dennis Schroeder last year averaged 38%, meaning he had a 38% frequency as far as his shots, his overall shots within 10 feet. So he is averaging 5 attempts per game within 10 feet, which of course meets our qualifications, and he shot a whopping 61%. To put this in perspective, now Bradley Beal, who does not meet our qualifications because he had a frequency of 29%, so the frequency has to be at least 30%. He averaged 5 attempts per game and he shot 62%. The Schroeder is taking more shots around that area, and their field goal percentage are around the same as far as finishing. And also you have to keep in mind that Dennis Schroeder, he's only 6'1". To be that good of a finisher at that size is pretty damn impressive. So shout out to Dennis Schroeder. He is number 5 on the list. Number 4 on the list goes to John Wall. Now John Wall, he has the reputation of a good finisher in the league, but he almost did not make this list. I somehow had to skew it a little bit so John Wall could qualify, because John Wall only played 41 games last year. And of course, John Wall had a down season. If you guys go back and look at my 5 interesting stats from the Eastern Conference as far as guards last year and how much I compared John Wall and Dennis Schroeder, it is not a coincidence that they both make this list. John Wall last year had a 37.7% frequency as far as shooting within 10 feet, averaged 5.7 attempts per game, and shot a whopping 63% at that area. Now John Wall, again, notoriously a great finisher around the rim. He has improved his jump shot, but he has not strayed away too far as like what made him successful coming into the league in high school and college. He's still a really good finisher. This is actually a down year for John Wall as far as finishing, so expect that number to rise in 2018-2019. Number 3, we have DeMar DeRozan. Now DeMar DeRozan is not known as a 3-point specialist. He's known mid-range to within the basket, within 10 feet. So DeMar DeRozan, he of course was going to make this list. He's number 3. Now last year, DeMar DeRozan had a 33.6% frequency, attempted 5.6 field goals, and shot 65% within 10 feet. Now those of course are floaters. layups, whatever, just within 10 feet. Now around the bucket, DeMar DeRozan likes going to floaters. He has a great footwork down in the post area, so he typically gets a shot off, and of course he likes operating around the elbow, using the mid-range, like right beneath the free throw line. If he gets in, sometimes he dunks it. He doesn't dunk as frequently as he used to, of course, for most players as they get older, but for DeMar DeRozan, he is definitely one of those players that when they get inside, they normally finish, and they have a great percentage at finishing the ball within 10 feet. Number 2, and this is a bit surprising, we have Kyrie Irving. I know a lot of people expected Kyrie to be number 1, but Kyrie's actually number 2 here as far as a finisher, at least last season in the Eastern Conference. Now last year, Kyrie played 57 games, and his frequency as far as taking shots within 10 feet was 34.5%. He attempted 6 shots per game from that area, and he had a 62.6% field goal percent. Now this is Kyrie's bread and butter. We know how awesome Kyrie is at finishing at that area, but last year was a player better than him. Now that's not to say Kyrie is bad. He's number 2 on this list because again, 34% of his shots are within 10 feet, and to be 6'3", finishing 62%, that's pretty great because DeMar DeRozan at 65.6%, averaging less attempts and being 4 inches taller. Kyrie is a great comp. The Kyrie, of course, around this area has floaters, left hand, right hand. I would say he's the most versatile scorer around the bucket. The only other player that I can think of that can do that is Derrick Rose, where he could finish in a wide array of ways. Where Derrick Rose, he was a bit better than Kyrie, I think, because he could bang on you as well. But Kyrie, he's not doing that. But I think Kyrie has more fillet and finesse around the bucket. Now, with Kyrie being number 2, you're wondering, like, who the hell, what guard in the Eastern Conference could be number 1 and a better finisher than Kyrie Irving around the bucket? This surprised me a little bit, but number 1 was Victor Oladipo. Now, last season, Victor Oladipo averaged 31% or 31.4% frequency as far as his overall shots from within 10 feet. He had 5.2 attempts per game and shot 72.8% from inside that range. Now, to put this in perspective, LeBron had a 50% frequency from within that range, which is kind of astounding, meaning like half of LeBron's shots was 51%, so most of his shots come from within 10 feet. But Victor Oladipo, LeBron had a 73.9% field goal percentage, while Victor Oladipo was 72.8%. So Victor Oladipo's, his breakout last year was amazing on several levels. Again, Victor Oladipo is around 6'4", 6'5". LeBron James is 6'8", 6'9". So that's a huge difference there. And LeBron James' body size is a lot different from Oladipo. And Oladipo to have this great a field goal percentage is crazy. Now people are saying, Kyrie's still a better finisher. What are you doing? Kyrie Irving played 57 games. Oladipo played 75 games, and he still had a higher field goal percentage. Of course, Kyrie averaged 0.8 more attempts, but my point still stands. Victor Oladipo, at least last year, based on the numbers and metrics, was a better finisher than Kyrie Irving. Of course, he's 2 inches taller or an inch taller than Kyrie Irving, but still 72% is nothing to cry home about. So guys, that was my list as far as the top 5 finishers in the Eastern Conference, as far as the guards in the NBA. Well, that doesn't make sense. You can't in the Eastern Conference, obviously it's in the NBA. But guys, that was the list. Let me know what your list is. Like the video, subscribe, and leave your thoughts below. Do you agree with this list? Do you agree with the numbers? You said numbers are BS. I go off eye test, fam. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.